Howdy everybody, thanks for joining me outside today. I know you're enjoying summer. I'm loving it. Kind of brings me back to being a kid, having the summers off, just running around wild, making up my own adventures. So today I want to talk about Dune. You've probably seen, there's some Dune movies that just came out. There's another one still that's going to come out. The book was actually wrote back in the 60s. And there's multiple movies on it. The son of Frank Herbert, the writer, he's wrote a bunch of books on top of what his father wrote. So if you haven't really heard of Dune, or you know about all the lore behind the universe, if you're like a sci-fi nerd and you like critical thinking and deep storylines, like Dune is it. I haven't stumbled onto a story this deep and made me really think about things. It's a really fun story to dive into, so I bought the books and I'm getting into them. But that's where I got the title for this video, Litany Against Fear. So I won't go too deep into all the Dune stuff, but in short, it's a time where they outlawed computers, they outlawed calculators. It's like a time after AI and computers have ruled over humanity ruthlessly. Like men already merged with machines. So you had these, brains in a jar connected to a computer, and then they sort of created a way to control humanity with the machines as they merged with them. So that's like the backstory to the original Dune. The Dune starts with this new humanity that outlawed thinking machines. And so humans had to think harder, and humans had to kind of get these psychic powers, and basically had to start evolving, using their mind more, rather than just sitting around and letting machines do everything for them. So I want to read this litany of fear, because basically there's this Bene Gesserit order that they have all of this training that they go through, to where it's some crazy stuff. They're all women, but basically, like, they can, if they get poisoned, they can control their body to get rid of the poison. They're women that can decide if what gender of child they're having. Like, they have the power when they're having intercourse, having the kid, having the seed planted, they're able to choose, do they want a female or a male? But I guess the biggest power of these Bene Gesserits is the voice. They use their voice to get into people's minds and control them. So you could probably, take that idea and figure out who the Bene Gesserit are in our age, who's using the fear voice to get in people and manipulate them. But they have to have some sort of defense against fear, because they are sort of the owners of it. They use it against everybody, and they can't let it get into them and screw them up. So they have a litany against fear that they recite whenever they start to feel a little ungrounded, a little shaky. So I want to find that, and I want to tell it to you. Okay, I found it. So the litany of fear goes like this. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. I love that so much. Now that I've realized how powerful words are and how we live in a magical realm of spell binding and spell casting, and how most of humanity is bewitched, cursed, spellbound, you got to understand you need litany. You need the litany of fear. You need to recite things inside of yourself when these hard times come to remind yourself of the truth and not be swayed by all the rhetoric that others have, all the spell casting they cast towards you. It's a very simple reminder. Fear is temporary. Fear is an illusion. Watch it fully. Face it face to face. Watch it go through you. Watch it go past you. You'll still be there after the fear's gone. Real powerful. I just feel this is what you should teach kids, right? A litany against fear. Like, this is what school should be about. Teaching all the kids the powerful light magic spells so that they're not taken. So I was reading early today. I'm just getting into the first chapter. I barely scratched the surface. And there was another thing that a Bene Gesserit said, very wise, that people they don't get. How hope clouds observation. Hope clouds observation. Hope is very similar to fear. You know, you've got two sides of two illusions. Fear, you're so afraid, but you haven't even experienced it yet. It's a mind thing that shuts the mind off. It makes the animal take over inside you and be afraid and act like an idiot. Hope does the same thing. Hope gets inside of you, shuts down your good side, and makes you say, oh, I hope somebody else will do the good thing today. I hope everything gets better. Man, I wish the world was better. It's just the same as fear. It's just made up words until it happens. What do they say? Hope is the opium of the masses, right? Like, what keeps all these people tangled up in this giant slave story of government? They're hoping the slave masters will set them free one day. You got to realize hope is just as bad as fear. There's no reality to it. I'm not hoping things get better here. Oh no. I know they will. Because I'm getting better. I'm not allowing myself to fall into the darkness like I used to. There's no hope. There's no fear that it's going to happen. You just do it. You push forward. You remind yourself of what's real. You don't make up a story to feel better about the situation. You don't hope something else is going to just pop up out of nowhere and save you. Just like you don't fear something's going to pop up out of nowhere and hurt you. So I just want to touch on this idea. Fear and hope, they're really the same thing. They're both just tricks used, spells cast, keep people down in the dirt, uncontrollable. I'm very optimistic about the future. I really see all this crazy stuff that's going on has just been, it's just like the Bible says, separating the wheat from the chaff. In Dune, they kind of talk about separating humans from animals. It's like what the Bene Gesserit is testing Paul for in like the first part of the book, testing him to see if he's a human or if he's an animal. Because an animal can't be trusted. You know, an animal is just going to act off a basic survival instinct and have no thought. They're not going to have that wisdom of what their actions will bring, the consequences of their actions. That's what a human understands. Animals don't. Animals just act out of impulse and rhetoric. Somebody else scares them into doing something. Somebody else promises them hope, and so they go act like a fool. So I just think it's kind of what Earth is about. It's what all this stuff is about. And it's your personal choice every day. You want to live like a human. You want to head towards divinity and higher consciousness and infinite possibilities. Or have you become an animal and accepted a savage dog-eat-dog world, and you've got to eat the other dogs to survive like an animal? So I'm just getting into this Dune. I'll probably do some more videos about the stories I find in it. But I am keeping that litany of fear inside me, and I am reciting it as much as possible whenever I need to. I'm working on a litany against lust. Just it's about the same as a litany against greed. You know, you let these feelings come through you. You observe them. That's why I love to talk about observation, because at your core, you're really just an observer of all of this. I feel like that's the cleanest consciousness you can kind of jump into, is just observe. Okay, don't get too mixed up in all that's going on. Fear is the mind killer. We all know this. Hope is also a mind killer. Enjoy your summer, everybody. Love you.